Now, about 8 days after these sayings, Jesus, taking Peter and John and James, went up on the mountain to pray. And while he was praying, the appearance of his face changed, and his clothes became dazzling white. And behold, two men were talking to him. They were Moses and Elijah, who appeared in glory and were speaking of his exodus that he was going to accomplish in Jerusalem. Then Peter and his companions were overcome by sleep, but becoming fully awake, they saw his glory and the two men standing with him. And as they were about to part from him, Peter said to Jesus, "Master, it is good for us to be here. Let us make 3 tents, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." Not knowing what he said, while he was saying this, a cloud came and overshadowed them, and they were afraid when they were entering the cloud. And a voice came from the cloud saying, "This is my son, the chosen one, listen to him." And after the voice had spoken, Jesus was found alone. And they kept silence, and in those days told no one anything of what they had seen. Good morning. Welcome to a short biblical reflection on the Gospel according to Luke, chapter 9, verses 28 up to 36. It is the Gospel reading for the second Sunday of Lent. The story of the Transfiguration of Jesus we find in all the 3 synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Let us firstly have a comparison. I have highlighted those matters which are similar, as well also the differences. The accounts in Matthew and Mark are more similar between each other, especially also because it is followed later on by the question posed by the disciples concerning Elijah that must come first. That question is not present in the Lucan Gospel. In all of these 3 accounts, there is the statement about his clothes becoming dazzling white, while about the face of Jesus that changed is only in Matthew and in Luke. Then, of course, the speech of Peter, who wanted to put 3 tents for Jesus, Moses, and Elijah is in all these 3 Gospels, as well also the appearance of the cloud and the voice which came from the cloud, and later on that they kept silent, they didn't say anything, is all in 3 Gospels. But the most essential difference I highlighted in blue is in Lucan Gospel, that there is the statement about the prayer, and then Jesus was going to, that they were speaking both Jesus, Moses, and Elijah. They were speaking with Jesus, Moses, and Elijah about his exodus that he was to accomplish in Jerusalem. Therefore, let us focus on those peculiarities. This double statement about the prayer, that he went on the mountain to pray and why he was praying, is that insistence because in the Gospel according to Luke, Jesus is presented that he is praying in the most crucial moments of his mission, as now in this time. But talking about this peculiarity of Exodus, it is also very interesting because the Transfiguration could recall the exodus of Israel from Egypt. So it was liberation from the slavery, while here this exodus of Jesus that he was going to accomplish in Jerusalem refers to his salvific action by his suffering, death, and resurrection in Jerusalem, liberating us now from slavery of sin. That time was physical slavery from Egypt to become free people of God, and now Jesus is forming now new people by his suffering and death and resurrection. But the suffering and death and resurrection is preceded by this appearance of glory, as well also during the first Exodus, because the glory of God was presented by the symbols, which also the cloud which we have here is represented, but also we could read in the book of Exodus about the pillar of cloud and fire. So we have that element of cloud which and fire, which are representation of God's presence, God who was leading them through the pillar of cloud and fire. Now this appearance of the cloud, where there is this also the strong declaration, this is my son, the chosen one, listen to him, is also important statement, because Peter, when he saw the glory of Jesus, he just said joyfully, it is good for us to be here. We could say like he wanted just bypass to be in the glory of the resurrection, the divine glory of Jesus, without even going through suffering and death. Therefore, this command, listen to him, and then consequently that they kept silent, in those days told no one anything what they had seen, refers to the moment or up to Jesus' resurrection, because only after Jesus' resurrection they were able to speak about what they could see previously during the transfiguration of Jesus, because they had to experience the suffering, death, and resurrection of Jesus in order to be able to speak about it. And also, consequently, it was preparing them for their own suffering, death, in order to reach to the resurrection, to reach to the glory of Jesus, following his footsteps. I would like to wish you a nice day, a nice reflection on this gospel reading. God bless you.